Hello, hello, hello. Good evening, everybody. Hope we're all well. Thank you for joining us on ROX BOX, either coming live on Facebook or over on our YouTube channel. So, hope you've all had a good day. Hello to everybody who's already commented. It's so lovely to see you all. And for those of you who are on here for Ro, she will be coming on in a few minutes' time. But for those of you who are a regular on here, will know that we do crystal connections with the groups that have been tuning in each evening. So tonight is the third night of crystal connections. So if we can just spend 5 minutes, if any of you who have connected with your crystal today, either connected and carried or done what you have felt you needed to do with the crystal, and just let me know how you've got on today if any of you would like to share. But I hope we've all had a good day anyway. Yes, the temperature has changed, and unfortunately it's been very wet here in Exeter, and so much so that our poor Lex the rabbit hasn't been able to go out today for his yard of grass. So he is inside, which I think has upped his moods a little bit. So I'm privileged. I've got Harley, our princess cat. She's asleep on the chair here, and Lex is in his cage. You might just hear his water bottle going. He's just having a refreshment, but hopefully he will settle down. He's normally outside during the live, so he doesn't cause any disruptions. So any connections at all for people? Has anyone got anything they wish to share from either yesterday or from today? It's been one of those days, so haven't connected and carried, but I think I might go rogue and connect, then sleep with it tonight. Beautiful, Lucy. Absolutely. Go and do that. Beautiful. Hey, Sandra. That's okay, Anne. There is plenty of time to do that, to connect with tonight. A disconnect with your citrine bracelet at night after what you said yesterday. Okay, interesting. So interested to see how that would affect your sleep, because I know you have been suffering with your sleep, and so be interested to see how that goes for the next few nights for you. Oh, absolutely, Rainer. Connect with your rose quartz. Beautiful, beautiful. Well, if we are all ready, then, oh, Sarah, just in time. I connected to my new slice of Larimar on Monday. I was sat at the bottom of the ocean amongst seaweed, communicating telepathically, but I'm not sure who or what with. I did have a sense of mermaid and sea turtle energy, beautiful, but I didn't see either. We were discussing my business and my journey and how I can be growing things at the moment with each idea. A pearl was released from somewhere near me and it floated up through the sunlight, which was streaming down and up to the surface, ready for. Oh, lovely though, Sarah. I love that connection. And Larimar, yes, turtle energy, ancient, wise energy from turtle. but also that nice connection to fantasy, to the mythical realms with mermaid coming in. And it's nice to have that pearl, because we all look at a pearl as, isn't that so beautiful? But we all know what a pearl is. A pearl is the waste matter of the oyster. So it's a nice little thing there to say, don't regret the time that you've wasted. Don't regret anything that you thought has gone as waste or you've ruined, because all that is a production of what is to come. That beautiful thing. So absolutely lovely. That's okay, Leslie. Plenty of time for your connections. Oh, lovely. Yeah, and fell asleep. And you didn't connect, but you've just been sitting with your spheres and just felt the energy one at a time, mahogany, obsidian, and then selenite. Lovely. So nice bit of grounding, bit of sacral, quite sexual energy with mahogany obsidian, especially in the masculine energy. Mahogany obsidian is very good for. And then the nice connection with selenite taking us up to the angelic realms. Beautiful. Absolutely, Sarah. That is it. We all look at a pearl and marvel at it for its beauty. But it's a waste product. So yeah, always makes sense of that. If you get given a pearl, it's giving you back all that time you felt you wasted, all that stuff that you feel was not necessary or not needed. It comes back to you as a pearl. Your Larimar skull is a beauty. Feels heavy even though she's light. My chrysocolla skull has been coming forward and wants to chat whilst I do workshops. She's told me her job. Brilliant. And this week, if you're going up the chakras, this week is the throat chakra week for us all. And so for you, Anne, both Larimar and chrysocolla are the two crystals I bring into the throat chakra workshop. So absolutely. And chrysocolla, it's all about standing in your feminine beauty, standing in that power, and just allowing yourself to grow. So I think she might want to help with your workshops to grow, to help them get out there more. So beautiful. Absolutely lovely. So if we are all settled and sitting and all comfortable, it is such an honor to have this beautiful soul bless us on a Wednesday evening. She is certainly going to be brightening up those grey skies out there. Yeah, she's a dear friend of ours. So move over, Sugar Plum Fairy, because here comes the Sticky Toffee Pudding Fairy. Ladies and gents, please welcome the lovely Ro.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Look, I've come suitably dressed. I can't breathe very well. So this is so people would recognise me, because I was a bit frightened they might not realise who I was. I might have to take this off. I was the only one in Marks and Spencer's wearing one of these. All right, that's better. I can breathe now. Hello, everyone.
Shocking. How are you?
I'm really well, thank you. How are you doing? Can you hear me?
I am good, thanks. I am good, thank you.
Good.
I can hear you.
Oh, that's right then.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Good.
So, thank you for joining us tonight.
Thank you.
We have got a nice selection of things to go through this evening. It's about the flower essence we're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it'd be nice to start with the oracle cards. You've produced your own flower essence oracle cards?
Yes, I have indeed. I have picked a card for everybody today. I don't know if there we go. Those are my oracle cards. I trained as an aromatherapist, so I really wanted to create something that I could use as part of my aromatherapy work. So a few years ago, I sat in my garden and knew that I had to create something. I like to call my little garden my office space. So I sat one summer and just channeled all of these well, the pictures and the messages, and basically just wrote them all down and created the pack. So there had to be 44 cards in the pack, so I always work with angel numbers, and I wanted to have some cards that they're quite small, these cards. If I've got a pack here which I'll show you, they're quite, I'm not going to suss out this direction thing. They're quite small in your hand, and I wanted to have cards that were quite easy to shuffle. So I picked a card for everybody today, which is the card Hope. I don't know if you can see that, which
We
is,
will. Yep, here we go.
there we go, which is a water lily.
Here we go.
And I thought it'd be nice just to pick a card for everybody today. And then when I saw this, I just thought, what a lovely message for us all at this time, really. I felt, it nearly made me cry actually. And I thought, oh, that is so special. So the flowers have very gentle, natural energy, and they come with nothing horrible to say to you at all. And so this is a beautiful water lily, and it's really just a reminder to everybody to hold on to hope and don't give up. The water lily, it's particularly links with water. It's interesting what you were saying earlier about all the and linking with the mermaids and things like that. So I think the water energy is really strong because water is such a healer. It's such a healer. It's also it's so powerful, isn't it? It can
Absolutely.
move boulders, it can do things, but it's also such a cleanser too. And I know certainly I felt, and I've gone through all of those emotions most days, I think, during this lockdown thing.
It's funny you say that because I don't know. I think you watched Patrick Gamble on Saturday, and with the humpback whale, for the past month, water and the water spirits, the animals of the water, have really honed in on me. I have been working with water for so long, and I just thought, well, actually, we're birthday twinnies. We're both on the 13th of March.
Oh, yeah.
So I didn't know whether it's because I was Piscean and being in this time of lockdown where we are, reflecting, which was what Patrick's card was on Saturday. And it's funny that yours is hope, because they do connect to one another. And I just thought it was because being a Piscean and having this time on my hands that I was getting to be in my element and play with the water. But what you're saying, yeah, it is that healing. It can come in gentle, it can come in like a tidal wave. It's a proper fixer up of water.
Absolutely. So then coming out then of my oracle cards, I then they've got I was inspired by Patrick to put a color around the edge, and the edge then the color around the outside then relates. So this is sort of deep indigo, so it's third eye, spiritual connection. And it's a reminder to spend that time and not only look after our physical health, our mental health, but our spiritual health as well, so that we're all really balanced. And then taking on from what you were saying about water, I then wanted to work out how I could then use the messages, literally the message that were coming through from the flowers in a way that people could use. So I work with essential oils, and I use those. And so I make essences that are really designed to be used in water. And I'm thinking that that's probably why I use them that way, because water is so important to me. So the fragrance that would go with that is a deep indigo blue, which is actually my sacred space fragrance, which is all about meditation and finding time to be peaceful and still. It's got things like sandalwood and frankincense in it and things. But I thought it was a really interesting one to come out today when we're doing this, because we always have a really, really good laugh and lots of fun. But it also, you know, there is she says with the unicorn thing. It's actually very serious, but it actually should, because actually we need all of this. So
Yeah.
I need this unicorn energy to do my work and to do things and to cheer people up when I go around the shopping and various other things. But you know, we do need to have these other things to do. So I've created I started off just with the chakras, and then it's just grown and grown and grown. I think probably as I've been more open to listening to what messages I need to do and what's needed to do. So you know, that's where we are. So it's
I mean, I can highly recommend the nightmare spray,
oh
which
yes,
we
Monsters
got for
Away.
you. Was it Keep the Monsters Away?
Yeah, there's Monsters Away one. Yeah,
Monsters
yeah.
Away, that's what it's called. Our son does not go to sleep until we have sprayed that in the room. He will, you
Oh,
know, I mean, he's coming up to 11 now, but he will still insist, have you sprayed my room? And if we say yes and he's not been in the room, we have to spray it again so he knows we sprayed it. And he sleeps amazingly. He loves that spray.
mm. We see, I mean, what I'm so interested in is with the essential oils is their spiritual connection. So within that oil that Monsters Away is lavender. So lavender is such a spiritual oil. So it gives us that connection. And so it does actually, it can have the power to change how we feel about things. So yeah, they're really clever things.
Beautiful. And just going back to your cards,
Yeah.
because I don't work with angel numbers. I have
Okay.
so many friends on Facebook who do, and I see so many 111s, oh, and 222s, and I'm like, oh, that's beautiful. I have not got a clue, but you said you've got 44 cards in the deck
Yes.
that's angel numbers. What
Yes.
does that?
Well, to be honest, I don't know much about it either. So I go with what I'm guided to do. And I just was told it had to be 44. And I can't do any more until it's going to be 88. And
Ah,
I don't know what 44 means. I suppose it would have been you. Well, I have looked it up once and thought, well, of course, and I've forgotten now. But almost for me, I feel I've learned I've got to trust. And if it's 44, if spirit says 44, well, then I'm not going to say, no, you're wrong. I might as well say, and kind of get on with the work. So I use angel numbers in lots of things. So I use 11 whenever I'm doing any work on the computer. I always change my font size to 11 or 22. The font size, there's a little booklet that goes with my cards. That's all in that's in 11, and the big one is 22, because actually I think I work with in lots of different ways. And it's probably why we've got lots of different things to talk about. So the angels to me are really important to bring them into to work. So I use Archangel Michael for protection, and whenever I'm working, I work with the angels as well. So they come in,
absolutely.
and I can't sort of shut them off
No,
really. So that's their input into my work. So I expect there's some people who'll be able to tell us about what the numbers and things mean. I just know they're important to use.
fantastic, fantastic. Yes, master number is 11.
Right.
Okay. But if anybody else knows any more, please feel free to put them up because I don't. I just see the post and I just go, oh, that's nice, and then scroll along. But yeah, so sorry, we were doing the essences
We
and
were.
how you started off with just the 7 chakras.
Yes, and then in the cards, I started off, but I needed to have some extras. So there are 10 So there's the brown, white, and pink. So I wanted to have the upper heart chakra, and so I guess it's the base chakra, and what's this, the one up here? Is that high star?
The soul star.
Soul star, yeah.
Yeah, just above the crown chakra.
That's right. Yes. Yes. So they're all there in. So I worked with them for a lot of the time. So the idea is you shuffle the cards, pick one out. This is a little message for today. This is new beginnings. This is another new beginning for me again this time. Really interesting. There's green there. So the fragrances and the essential oils that would go with that would be the very earthy nature type ones. So not the spiritual ones that we've just talked about before. These are the earthy. So these would be the essential oils, particularly the tree ones, the woody ones, frankincense, myrrh, and the herby ones as well. So things like basil, rosemary, the real earthy grounding ground, and that sort of natural connection. So and interestingly, I was hoping to do a lot more work during this virus thing, and I found it really difficult to start with, I'll be honest. So I had to be in the right place to do my work. I can't, if I'm not in the right place, I can't do healing work for other people. It just doesn't work. But fortunately, I was asked by somebody if I could help them out with something. They needed to develop some confidence and just feel a lot more positive. And so I sat down in my room where I am here now, as this is something I've done, is create my workspace during this virus, and just meditated for a bit. And then all of these goddess fragrances started to come through. So I was able to create her 2 or 3 different goddess fragrances that she was able to use. And I'll be doing more about that at another time. So that was really exciting. And then somebody else contacted me who'd sadly recently lost her father, and she needed some help with reconnecting back to the angelic realm and finding some peace. So I meditated again about what to do, where to start. And suddenly all these angels came through. So now I've got angel fragrances, goddess fragrances, chakra fragrances, and it's like they're all queuing up in my head to come through. So I spend a lot of time meditating and getting the ideas, and then I just sit and spend ages literally holding the fragrances and working out which is right and which is wrong. And it's very definite when things are right or wrong. A classic time I was trying to do something quickly and the whole bottle fell over and everything went all over the floor. You can imagine I said a few rude words at that.
Oh yeah. I can imagine what was coming to breath.
Yeah, but it was because it was wrong and I wasn't doing it from the right place. So you have to do it from the heart, and you have to be in the right spiritual place to be able to do it. I mean, I was trained, so I do know how to do everything in an official way, but I've developed more from that, in that I now work from a spiritual standpoint.
Absolutely. Because if you're coming from a good place, then when you are making that substance up, that's taking on that energy as well.
Yes.
Also, the weather affects the essence making. If it's a sunny day, you get one energy. If it's a cloudy day, it's a completely different energy, even though you're using the same ingredients. The change in the change in the weather really makes a difference.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it does. But it also makes a difference seasonally when you get your oils as well. So if you're using some lavender that's been harvested at a certain time, it will have different energies and things as well. So I'm really particular about, I use a whole different range of brands and things, because some of them, they haven't got the right energy for me to work with. So, and it might be I buy it again, oh no, it's gone. And so, that one doesn't get used. But it's all.
But absolutely, I mean, it's same as I've having all of our crystals in the living room, we want to try and keep the energy around those crystals as pure as anything, because anything at all they pick up on. So I understand that energy when I translate it through into the crystal world of how important it is to keep that your energy pure. You've got to be in a good place. You can't just go from having an argument to go, right, now let's just make this lady.
Yeah, no.
It's gone into the bottle.
Yeah. Yeah, it will, and it does have the energy, and I think that's the power I know behind them, is that when I've done, they will only become created when I'm in the right space. So that then has that, and so then it's almost like I'm out of the equation, and so the message is just coming down in, and then I just create it and pass it on, and then that person then can make that direct connection with whatever they need.
Beautiful.
You know, so,
beautiful. And is this something do you teach essence making, or is it something that's kept in a secret book of shadows and locked away safe?
It's a mixture of the two, I'll be honest. I do have my my special recipes and things, and I don't share them anywhere because they are my magic. I do workshops and things, though. My favourite place to work is in Avebury. So I do like to go there and do workshops and have a sort of a spiritual day. Start off with a meditation and then find out what people want to do, and then we play around with the oils, and then we maybe go out and collect some bits and pieces and things and make essences, and then people can work themselves. Teach as such, no. I sort of walked away a bit from that, but so I do more sort of participatory type thing.
Yeah, I think Adam's got a picture of a workshop to pop up.
Oh yeah, so this is the sort of thing that I do. I'm very inspired actually by you and Esther with lovely yantras and things like that, to start using grids and things. So I use flowers on grids, in the same way as you use crystals to create the energy. I also then use crystals and things as well. But here we were actually, we were using flowers. So again, working with particular flowers and getting that energy, and people were then just using that and doing a little bit of meditation, and also being in a special place. Choosing venues for workshops and things is so special. So to be able to do something in the heart of the Avebury Stone Circle is amazing.
I've never been, but when this is all over and you've got a workshop going, I am coming to join.
You must. You'll love it.
I must. I've never been, and I'm as soon as Adam learns to drive, we are on a Stone Circle mission.
Oh, there's so many. But yeah, good.
So,
right, actually, I can have some more as well.
Yeah, have a drink. Have a drink. Does your assistant treat you as good as my assistant? I literally have everything all lined up for me, and I just come and sit down, and I'm like, oh, there's my drink, and there's my crystal, and it's nice to have an assistant.
He's got the important job of keeping the dogs quiet, so that actually takes precedence over everything else. So they are, I'm not sure if they're out at the moment, but they're two rescue dogs. So we've had Cara for a year now, and we've had Willow for about 18 months, and they're really bouncy, but they're really young energy, and they've been very hurt emotionally, physically, everything. So they're taking their time. So they love coming in this space. So they might pop in at some stage.
I bet. Yeah, I was about to say, if they need any healing, that space is where they need to go and just be in that vibe of
yeah, absolutely.
Beautiful. Absolutely. We have got so many people that have come on to say hello. Karen, Hillary, Maggie, so many people. Lovely to see you all coming on. But if people do have any questions at all throughout, please just pop them on. And Biggles upstairs, he'll have his beady eyes out, and anything that's a question, he'll pop up for Ro to answer. Okay. Oh, Maggie has just said she had a lovely time at your workshop at the Lighthouse in February.
Oh, lovely.
Seems like a very long time ago now, but I'm going to look at my photos and try and recreate it.
Oh, lovely. Yeah, we did grids and things, and yeah. I think we were doing moon work then. It's full moon, I think. So,
yeah.
Thank you. Bless you.
And Lighthouse has a special place for us as well, doesn't it? We
Doesn't
love
it?
that. We love that show.
We do, and we work really hard, and we're sensible, aren't we?
Do you know what though? It is. There's something about that place, and it really reminds me of like my mum when she used to go out for these girly weekends, and they'd perhaps go to London to see a show, or they'd go a weekend to see a garden or something like that. And when they'd come back, they would never talk about the show. They would never talk about the gardens or what they actually went for. They would talk about what happened in the evenings. And I used to just sit there and think, you know what? I would love to have that. And when I go to the Lighthouse, I feel I've got that. I mean, the show is brilliantly organized. It's a fabulous show. But it's what happens in the evenings that stick in my mind.
Yes.
It's such a fun weekend.
Well, yes, it is totally, and you really get a chance to let your hair down. I mean, that's the amazing thing. Elaine organises such amazing events. I love them all. It's amazing, but it's really special to be able to sort of do your work. Well, not work. Well, it is work, isn't it, that we're doing during the day? So we do our stuff, and we do that with all the with the whole thing. But you do then need a break, and there are times when I get back home from weekends like this, I physically ache because I have laughed so much. My ribs really hurt, and you'd think I'd done like a marathon or something, but no, it's just because I've been laughing.
Yeah, well, it's just the fact that even the second year of us going back there, the waitress knew us all. Yes. you left an impression when only just the second year. And I think it was our 4th year there, maybe even our 5th or 4th. But yeah, I mean, like Katie Louise has just said, Lighthouse is starting to feel like coming home, or at least a family reunion.
It's lovely.
Which for the Lighthouse.
Oh yeah, I get to put glasses
on. My, look at my hair. That was February.
Wow.
Jeez. Wowzers. Yeah, that was the night we had the talking mallet, wasn't it?
It was.
Karen wanted something. Karen wanted a bit of wood, and the only thing we could find was the chef's meat tenderizer.
I don't think that table will ever be the same again.
I don't think it will. yes, Karen, the talking mallet. Yeah, we left our mark on that table.
I think we did.
But also with the Lighthouse, because for us, we kind of closed down beginning of December, and then we have Christmas, and then January. The Lighthouse is normally like our first event we have. So like what Katie says, for us, it's like our reunion. It's like how is everybody? Let's have a big hug. Let's get together. That's what I love about that, and we may drop the odd pudding on people, but
yeah, particularly when they bought a new dress. I was so proud of this beautiful dress.
You hadn't even bought it.
No, because I was going to try it on.
You took 3 dresses from the lady and was like, can I try these on and then come back the next day to tell you which ones I want?
I'll look after them, I said. not realizing I was going to be sitting next to you at the dining table. I guess it was my fault for having sticky toffee pudding, but I didn't know what was going to happen to it.
But Ro couldn't finish her pudding, so I said, oh, I'll have it for you. I'll finish the rest. And instead of bringing the plate to me,
I wasn't laughing so much at the time.
I went and grabbed it, pulled it, but it fell and rolled over your dress.
And it was so gloopy. It was brown gloop.
It looked like you pooed yourself.
I was absolutely mortified. Mortified.
I will never forget, through the tears of my eyes, looking at your face, then looking over at Karen and Adam, who were looking at me like, are you going to stop laughing and apologize? Kind of look. And I'm just like, I can't. I had full blown belly held. And then you turned around and went, I've not bought this dress yet. And that set me off on another octave. It was yeah. I mean, well, I did apologize, and
you did apologize.
Luckily you loved that dress. So you ended up...
It has survived to to live another day. So I was going to wear it tonight actually, but it's a bit warm. But no, I'll bring it out at the next lighthouse just for old time.
I was on the hunt for sticky toffee pudding today, so I could sit there and eat it in front of you. But the universe was clearly saying, "Don't be that mean."
No, we're not good with that together. I think we have that has to be separate.
Yeah, we need to be together for that. So who knows? Next February, what's going to happen? You know, we had the sticky toffee gate, we had Manic Gate.
Yeah.
What's going to happen next year? I mean, it might be the first event we all actually get to go to.
It might be.
It might be. But anyway, I've got Elaine coming on at the end of June to talk about all this. So let's get back to what you're doing. Sorry, okay. I've sidetracked and brought Lighthouse into the equation. But...
Yeah.
We should have done this at the end.
We should have done that at the end. Should we? Yeah, I think we shouldn't have. Right, okay, right. We're getting really serious. Shall I maybe take my unicorn off? Will that make me more sensible?
I think we're okay. No. Right, so.
Thinking about it, actually. Let's put no. Okay, right. Far away, then.
So now. I'm just going to count to 10.
Okay. See, I'd spray you with one of my sprays, see, but...
We have got one of yours around, but do you know what? Could we find it? Oh, could we? Okay. So, moving on from the essence.
Yep.
Can we just bring in a little curveball about your amazing books?
Oh, books, yes. Well, you have Ruby there. Ruby was my first story. Well, Ruby actually was the first story that was published, and then Starshine is the second story. So they are, again, they're channeled stories, actually. Starshine was actually the first story. I channeled that during a gong meditation 2 or 3 years ago now, which my gorgeous friend Linda Wrigley, she did a day, and this story came to me out of that. So it took me a little bit of time to get it written down. Ruby again, that came in a meditation. As I said, I love Avebury, so I was just thinking one day about Avebury, and I just envisaged this dragon all the way around the henge, all the way around the village, keeping everybody safe. And I just thought that would make a really nice children's story. So it's actually, if you look at the stories carefully, there are there are sort of bits that you'll kind of recognize in there. So there's a little girl in there called Freya. She's actually my spirit guide. She's one of the spirit guides that Patrick painted for me a few years ago in Glastonbury, and she's the inspiration behind all of the potions. So that's who I connect with when I'm doing my potions. And this is her. This is her as a little girl in the book. So she's called Freya. She's in both of the books. Starshine's set in Glastonbury, by the way. But and then there's Twinkle Rose Fairy. Well, I also do lots of fairy work, so that's kind of like another one of my personalities. And then my beloved husband is the Pixie. So there she is, putting the potion into so she's making a potion that magic medicine to heal Ruby, because Ruby has a bad cough and she's been setting fire to the village. So Freya and Twinkle Rose and Pixie go to help her, and then she thanks them and takes them on a journey, and they go then to a crystal cave. So then the idea of these stories is that you can then sort of talk around them. So there they all are flying around. So Twinkle Rose there is sprinkling the fairy dust, biodegradable, of course. And Pixie is playing his magic flute. He also has a magic paintbrush that he paints amazing pictures as well. So there they are, helping make Ruby better, which they do. And then she takes the magic potion and she doesn't sneeze or cough anymore, and the flames stop. So very exciting. So that's so the idea of these stories really is for children to have a really lovely, relaxing story to send them to sleep with. So again, the sprays that we've talked about go with this. So I've developed some of those now. So there is now there's Fairy Sweet Dreams. I've done a new dragon one, which is Ruby Dragon. We also have Pixie Power, and also Unicorn as well. So the idea as well is that children can start to make some kind of spiritual associations and things. So part of what they do in both of these books is they both go on journeys, and in the journeys they meet animals. And so this is to try and start introducing them to the idea of animal guides and spirit animals.
Brilliant idea.
It starts picking things up. So and these characters will then appear in all of the books. So I'm going to write at least 3 more, and we'll be developing different characters. But it would be really lovely then for the children to then, if they say pick out the owl, say in Ruby, they'll then find the owl again in Starshine, and then they'll be able to see it in all of the others as well. And crystals as well. You know, I've talked to you obviously loads of it, but bringing the crystals into that as well, in just a subtle sort of way. The crystals are in the books as well. So again, it's a way that you can talk to the children about what they can use. And I think I missed it, but didn't you do a meditation about crystals and sleep this week, or a chat thing?
Yesterday I did a chat about crystals and that can aid you in sleeping. Yes,
that's right. So it's kind of tying all of the things in. And I suppose my passion is if we can actually start getting not getting the children, doesn't sound the right way, but starting to educate them and teach them about other ways that they can support their lives and help themselves. A little bit of meditation, use crystals, use essential oils, listen to stories, listen to music, listen to sound. If we can introduce them to those things and they start seeing them as things that can help them, then it's all going to be good for them. So
absolutely, that is. Will there be a story about a wooden mallet or a sticky top pudding? Some sort of naughty nymphs around a table, and
who knows?
Who knows? If you want to lead character for the sticky toffee pudding,
there might be some just little mentions, maybe when they have a magical tea party or something. Yes, so those people in the know will know exactly what it's.
Oh, absolutely! I'll look forward to that. And also, if we can, because you talking about that, you were saying about how you want to teach and educate children. It's not the first time you have taught and educated children.
It's not indeed. No, I was a head teacher for 10 years. I went straight from school into doing my teacher training, and I was a teacher for oh a long time. Well, yeah, I was a head for 10 years. So I had a big primary school that I was head of.
And you were the
And
youngest head in the county?
I was the youngest head in the county. Yeah, I was the head teacher at 31.
That's
Uh, it was an amazing time. It was actually a really tough time, actually. I was a single parent at the time, and I had been living up in London. But I decided that I couldn't, I, I didn't want to bring Will up um, in London on my own. I just thought that is just too much. So I thought I'd kind of head back home to be closer to my parents, and just thought I was an acting head teacher and a deputy head in Haringey at the time. I loved working in London. It was absolutely fantastic. It was really good fun. And I thought, well, if I get a head teacher's post, then I will be able to afford to do stuff on my own. I'll be able to afford to have a house for Will, and we'll be able to to do things on my own. My ex-husband was very friendly and helped out with things. That's not to say that he just abandoned us, not at all. But I wanted to know that I could be independent and then not have to rely on anybody. So being ahead, that was tough. Will had to go to, he went to nursery and went to after school care and all that kind of stuff, and it was a tough time. And it might not surprise you to know that I didn't really fit the mold for doing some of this stuff. And although I was ahead for 10 years, in the end, I just couldn't do the job anymore. I I wouldn't conform to things. My passion was doing what I thought was best for the children. I spent a lot of time talking to parents. I had an office with toys for the kids. It was lilac and had IKEA sofas in it. And I spent a lot of time talking to parents because they were having such tough time. And I wasn't very good with data and that kind of stuff. I could manage a budget and things like that. I had a budget of about $1.5 million and big staff. But it was really hard because I think the outside agencies were trying to make education become very different to what I'd gone into it doing, and I just couldn't do it. I realized things were going wrong when I got pneumonia, and I realized, I was really, really poorly, so I had to have a lot of time off work. And looking back at that later, I was totally suppressed in my creativity, and my voice just literally couldn't be heard. And so I was literally, drowning. So I went back to work, but it was really tough. And in the end, I went out on ill health. I was acutely depressed. I had to see my doctor every week. He wouldn't give me loads of tablets and things. I took tablets and things. I was desperate. It was a tough time. But yeah, he made me see him every week because he didn't trust me to give me loads of tablets and things. He needed to make. So you think that's a bad place to be in. And it's really tough when a job has made you feel like that. But I mean, I was totally destroyed. I mean, I just went underground. I was really, really, really close to the edge, really close to the edge, and I had to actually work out whether it was worth staying around or not. And that's a really, really hard thing. It's a hard thing to say, and I've got family.
Yeah.
For my son, I decided that I would beat it. And that was what I did it. So I thought I've got to do something. So I was then I was then introduced to Reiki, and I did my Reiki training, and suddenly I realized that I could heal myself. I am quite an independent person. I like to be able to do things. So discovering that was fascinating. Then I met some lovely, lovely people. And then one day, my Reiki master, I would think I was on Reiki 2 at this stage, she said, I've got this chap coming up. He's called a psychic artist. This was in 2007. And he could do a picture if you want, and do a reading. I thought, I don't even know what a psychic artist is. I didn't know what all this lingo was. Anyway, it was Patrick, bless him. And I had my first reading with Patrick. I didn't have a clue what he was talking about. He said, you're going to be working with the angelic realm. I had to look that up in the dictionary because I didn't know what an angelic realm was. He told me that I was going through a really tough time, but everything would be okay if I followed my heart, and I had to create a balance between creativity and being a healer. And that was back in 2007. So I then went and trained to do aromatherapy. So that was back then. So I did that course, met some lovely people, and it re-established my connection with oils. But I'd originally wanted to be an aromatherapist. I didn't intend to go back to work after Will was born. I started getting involved with and going to and have massages and things in the early 1990s. And my first aromatherapy book is 1993. So that's how long. But you kind of think, oh, I can't make a living out of this. I can't do this. I'll go and do sensible things. So I did the head teacher bit, and that was all very, very sensible. And that went pear-shaped. So then I did various other bits and pieces and things. But Spirit was really, really telling me that I had to stop all this crap I was doing. The people I'd worked with in other jobs, lovely, but it wasn't doing me any good. And so Spirit, it got my health each time. So, I had pneumonia and depression with the head teaching post. And then with the other things, it was generally voice related and that sort of thing. And then finally, it was high blood pressure. I mean, I had the highest blood pressure. It was just horrendous. And people were really, really worried about me. And I went, I wanted to go to one of Elaine's retreats, but I was doing a show. But I managed to go there one evening on the Saturday. This was about 4 years ago. And I just sat around the fire and just thought, okay, I'll do it. Because they just knew they had to tell me to give up my work. So that's what it is. So 3 years ago, I stopped everything and started working for myself, and that's where I've been. But I mean, has been a struggle, I have to say. It's been a struggle though when I've been doing the things I feel I should be doing and ought to be doing rather than things that I love. So the really good thing about this virus stuff that's come out is that it's given me time and peace, because I can't do all of my other things. I have to be at work and do things. So I've been able to really, really reignite my passion for things.
I can
absolute joy.
I can absolutely relate to that. How much we have brought down rocks up during this virus has been unbelievable. But yet we know as soon as we go back to work, the business is going to suffer. It's going to crash because we can't do that while we are at work. So
yeah,
absolutely. We do have a teacher watching us, the lovely Sarah, who is Maggie's daughter.
Yeah.
And she's reflecting on the awful experience, but she can relate to what you went through, and it's because you cared so much about the right things.
But it wasn't a popular thing to do. And the fascinating thing is that I ended up totally suppressing my feminine side. I think that's why I've just gone crazy now with sparkles, unicorns and all that kind of stuff, because the only way to survive, it still was very much a male orientated world. So to be a young mother and say, no, I'm not going to be doing meetings. I won't do meetings between 6 and 7:30 because I need to put my child to bed. I'd worked all day and I wouldn't couldn't do it, but it was
No.
really hard. People just didn't understand that.
Oh my God.
So yeah,
Oh my
interesting.
God. Wow, absolutely. Thank you for sharing that with us.
Sorry, yeah, I kind of
No,
I've
thank
not
you.
really talked about that hugely before, but I think it
No,
needs to be said.
absolutely. And this is why we love doing these shows, is because we want to show that the people who are behind the stall, the people who are putting sparkles in people's hair, there is a story behind them. There is
Yeah,
life behind them, you know.
absolutely.
Um, and especially in the spiritual community, there's a lot of people who think that we were born from angels and we came out of unicorns' butts, and we didn't. You know, we've had to go through tough times
Yeah,
to see what our true path is like, you know.
yes,
And so I always open up to people to talk about those things, because people need to relate to that, and people
yes.
need to understand that and go, oh, okay,
Mm,
okay, and it's
mm.
going to give them the fuel to keep going. So thank you
Well,
for
yeah,
sharing that.
I was just going to say about the sparkles. I mean, that's actually why I do hair sparkles. For me, it's literally helping get people get their sparkle back, because that was a really important phrase for me. So if actually spending a few moments talking to somebody, I'm sure some of my Reiki energy goes in as well at the same time, but if it does, it does. But it makes you feel good about yourself, and actually if it makes you look in the mirror and smile because you've got sparkles in your hair, then that's a really good thing. So that's why I do that, actually.
That's
Yeah,
brilliant. Absolutely, I love that. Are we ready to do some plants?
yeah, we can do plants.
Is plants a good time?
Yeah, let's do plants.
Let's
Yes.
do some upliftment. Have we gone
So
through enough pictures? Because this is a conversation you and my beautiful husband had. I was left out of this, so I don't know what pictures have been sent. I don't know what
yeah,
pictures are meant to be put up. Nothing was discussed with the host. This was
well,
the
we like
guest
that, aren't we? Yeah,
and the director having a little discussion. So,
yeah.
but
um I
is there
think
anything
you
that's
might.
on the top of your head that you think, Dan, we've not discussed that?
um oh, oh, this is new. I talked to you a little bit about this. I'm starting to do some aroma boxes, with the idea, particularly for now, we can't get to places and do the places and things that we want to do. So this is my Avebury Summer Solstice aroma box, which is available now via my website and my page. As you can see, this has got Avebury Rose in it, which is a really beautiful fragrance made with roses from Avebury. There's also you can also have Avebury Beach if you want a more grounding one, but I wanted to be able to provide a sensory experience. So this has got fragrances, crystal, summer solstice incense. So the idea of the spraying the sunshine will help you connect with the sun energy over solstice. Avebury Rose will give you a spiritual connection, and then Sacred Smudge will help you to clear the space during the session and afterwards. And then there's a little sunstone there that you can use to connect. So
Oh,
I want to start working with it, and then I've got some others in the pipeline as well. But yes, these are the new ones that I'm going to
oh,
be working with. So
I might,
yeah, that's new.
I might have to purchase one of those, because we will be going on live, because during this time and doing the live videos, we do live altars. So we've been
Oh
doing the new
yes,
moon altar, full moon altar, and the Sabbats as well. So we've only
yes,
done Beltane, I think, is the only one that we've done so far throughout the lockdown. And we're going to be doing a solstice one. So I might have to purchase that box so we can have it
yes.
burning while the communal altar
Excellent.
is taking shape
Yes,
by the guests on the video.
yes.
That
Because I
is,
watched, yeah, I watched your moon one actually, and yeah, I've got a moon box as well. Uh,
oh,
just reference. Yeah,
oh, just to slip that in.
yeah. Just thought I would. Yeah, we didn't discuss
Fantastic.
that, did we? No.
And
So,
Angie's saying, do you spray it in the room?
yes, I spray it in the room, or what I like to do is, well, I actually like to spray it in a mist. So I imagine that I'm doing like a rainbow arch over my head, like this, and spray. And then I kind of like walk into the mist and just let the mist fall gently around me. I don't use it as a perfume as such, but again, it's just that mist coming. And if you then breathe in, you're just really then taking in deep that energy. So that's how I use them. Well, I can just see these now. I've got a website, which is www.enchantingflowers.co.uk, and I've also got a Facebook page. But you can just send me a message, and I've got all the official things, but you can just drop me a message after this, and I'll
That's
do
what
that.
we do. I mean, to be fair,
So
last night after doing the sleeping chat this morning, we were so busy sorting out stones for people. We were inundated with messages of people saying, "You showed us that crystal. You showed us that crystal. Can we have that?" And I was like, "Yeah." It's like, oh my god, how many people are not sleeping out there? So, yeah, if you want some spray as well, here's the girl for some very peaceful night sleeps. So
absolutely. So yeah, I'm going to do a sleep box as well.
That sounds amazing.
So
that
then,
is...
so I'll have to talk to you about crystals, so then I'll get the crystals from you and put them in the box, and that would be lovely.
Ah, sharing is caring. Absolutely.
It is indeed, isn't it? It is.
That is beautiful.
Yeah.
But are we ready for some exciting bits?
We are ready for some exciting things. So I'm just going to, I just would like people just to listen to something for a minute and just see what you can imagine this is. Let's see. Just got to wait for... Listen. Come on. You need to do something. You need to do something. Right. So, shall I just talk through what I'm doing? So, this... I kind of don't want to... I don't want to talk over the music. This music is what this plant... This is a rose. Rose, my favourite flowers. It's really, really, really high vibration. If you need any plant for healing, use rose. In whatever shape or form. Smell roses. This is the song of the rose. So my passion is to use all of the senses, because nature heals in a really, really incredibly special way. So not only does nature heal through fragrance, but nature can obviously heal through sound. This is the plant making a sound. So I'm just going to stop it a second. So this is a special little gadget. It's called Music of the Plants. And the idea is that what it measures is that you put a little sensor. There's a sensor that goes into the root of the plant, which is down there. You then put a sensor onto the plants. I'm not going to do it because it's going to make noise. And then that's plugged into this little gadget. Hang on, little gadget. This converts the energy from the top of the plant. Oh, sorry, let me show you how I'm doing this. Right, I'm just putting that. Can you see I'm putting it at the top of those roses? So now this is communicating. So we've got a sensor here and a sensor here. That gap was the gap that it took from the sensor. So let me take it off again. So the pause is the time that it takes the messages to go from the top of the plant down to the roots, because the plants will be talking. Yeah, they will be talking.
Yeah,
they're going to be... This is what they're doing all the time. So I've just popped that on there. So now listen. Go on, you can do it.
Can everybody hear that?
Is it loud enough?
I can hear it. It's loud for me.
Oh, it's quite a gentle sound.
And I'm deaf, so.
So I feel that actually what you can do is you can just listen to the song of the plant. This will heal you. Imagine just lying down, listening to this and letting the energy come through. I won't talk anymore, just listen. So I'm touching the plant now to see how it responds to touch. It's more animated, isn't it? And I'm going to tell this plant is very, very beautiful and very, very special. You're so healing. We can feel your energy, and you are so special because you're going to be on YouTube. Listen, that's so joyous, isn't it?
It is. When you close your eyes, you can so feel the upliftment of that energy. And I could just think, if you're feeling a little bit groggy, get a rose plant next to your bedside table.
Absolutely.
Put that on, and you're recuperating. That energy is uplifting.
Mm. And again, it's such a simple thing because this is the song of this plant. So this is the song of this plant today. This is how this plant is feeling today. So
because, like you say, listening, we don't with plants. We can look, and visually we can see that they're beautiful. With their scent, we can use our nose and smell how beautiful. To some, we can taste and we can touch. But this sense is just.
So this is a way that the plant can communicate with us and we can play with it. So I haven't got any instruments with me today, but we can play instruments to the plants. In fact, I'm going to be doing a workshop at Elaine's Healing Weekend with this. So we'll be using instruments on that as well. So you can play music to the plant and the plant will respond. But the plant is now responding to my voice. It's a lot more animated than it was. It's really happy. I'm going to pop this is a bumblebee jasper, isn't it?
It is bumblebee jasper.
So let's see if we just tuck that in there by the roots. It's gone even higher. It's sensing that it's in the soil.
Yeah, I was just about to say that's gone upper.
And it just goes to show, I mean, isn't nature just amazing? Rose quartz, obviously.
Oh, rose quartz with rose.
Listen.
Absolutely.
Isn't that a different sound?
That's a completely different sound.
So that rose is responding to that crystal.
It's quite. It's very deep, very moving.
Yeah. But don't you feel it's like the heart of the plant? It's like the well, actually, it's roots, isn't it?
Mm.
Oh, no, it's got the higher notes back again, but
but it's still not at the level of the bumblebee.
But then it wouldn't be, would it? Because they're different crystals. So
Absolutely.
So when you think of the different vibrations and the different energy of the crystals, as we respond, then so will the plant respond.
Oh, I feel a workshop coming on.
Exactly, Anne. Yeah, exactly. But also, it makes you realise what you say to plants, because they're going to pick up on that energy.
Yeah. Yeah.
So actually, if you put them in a place where you have rows and get cross and angry, they're not going to thrive.
No, they're going to absorb that
So
negativity.
if you speak to them and you give them, and if you play music to them, they will respond. I mean, listen. So on workshops and things like that, when I'd be using this, people would then be able to talk to the plant yourself, and see how the plant responds.
But when you talk, it goes. There is that vibration. Hearing the bumblebee, hearing it on its own, hearing it with rose quartz, it's got its own different tones. And when you start talking, it's going. It's you could tell it's your voice. It's reacting too.
Yeah. And so this is quite a new plant, because I think you laughed because we checked in earlier, didn't you? And I said I'm just rehearsing the plants. So
They're just having a rehearsal.
Yeah. So I just got I got the plant. I've got some other plants as well, and I said, right, we're going to have a go now. We'll just have a little practice to see how it is. So this is quite a new plant, but it's going to be lovely to see how this plant, how she carries on, and yeah, it's going to be really interesting because
Because you said plants, because you've got more than one there.
Yes. Have we got time to do another one?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay, so
you've got another two, haven't you? We want to hear more, don't we, guys?
Right, so that was, I'll just take her. So next we have the orchid.
Beautiful.
So the sensor goes into the roots. You have to quite, because I don't want to hurt the plant while I'm doing this. That would totally destroy the idea of doing it. So yeah, you have to be very careful with it. So this is orchid. Let me put it that way. Try popping some crystals. What sort of crystal? I don't know what I've got. Suggest a crystal.
For me, I'm getting quite extraterrestrial with that. I'm getting quite high chakras. Have you got a clear quartz?
Hang on 1 second.
as soon as you put that in and it started singing, it was so EP.
Your lovely pyramid.
Oh, oh, oh.
It's quite difficult to fit in the pot, actually. Yeah, but yeah. It's absolutely amazing, isn't it? So
That
you can.
is.
It's sublime, isn't
I
it?
love Orchid. I am. Yeah, Mark has just said that this is bringing back great memories when you did this at a workshop he attended during the Healing Light Festival early last year.
Oh yeah, I did. That's right. At Heartland. Yeah, at Heartlands, yes.
And then we got Suzanne Morrison. Rowan Dan, don't know what you're doing, but best breathing today. So she's really soaking in the plant energy. Healing is going towards her. Bless you, Suzanne.
Oh,
And Belinda, wow, I could meditate with that orchid.
well, this is what I intend to sort of do. Really, is to set up. I'd originally thought of doing workshops, but I think now, well, look, we could see you could do this on Zoom. I mean, wouldn't it be amazing to say, right, we're going to do this, and then I'm not going to talk all the way through it, but just imagine making that connection, because I believe that nature will heal us. I happen to have the gizmo thing. The other interesting thing of what you can do, I have got another sensor that you could use outside. So we could also use it to send healing back. So we could do ceremonies for earth healing and healing for our planet. So we could have ceremonies where we gather together. We can play instruments to our plants, and then we can send the healing back. Because we'll play to the plant and the plant will take that down, and then that healing will go down their roots and into the earth.
Right. Who's up for breaking into Kew Gardens tomorrow night? Let's jump those barriers. Let's send some healing to those plants. Come on. Come into a garden centre near you.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Yes. Yes. When this craziness is over, let's meet up and let's send some healing to these amazing beings.
Well, I mean, because trees, they all communicate with their root system that's underneath the ground, don't they? That's how they communicate with each other. They respond to things. They react to things. I mean, this was originally why this little gizmo was made. It was to try and measure how the external influences affect plants, pollution and things like that. And then they realized they could use it for sound. So it wasn't originally used for a sound thing. But that's how, the plants are, it's amazing, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Do I hear Jasmine?
Yeah. Just before we hear Jasmine, and it says, can you put this gadget on an oak tree?
Yeah, I've done it with them. I've done it with the beech trees in Avery. Yes, you can.
So we can hear the song of the trees.
Yes.
We need some workshops, lady.
We
need
do.
some workshops.
So that's what I would like to do. I'm not really a very good technology person, but ideally what I want to do is to then record all of the sounds and then put them together, and then we can have a forest concert.
Yes.
Or something.
Yes.
But I also think it's lovely to be in the moment, of what the tree is teaching us today. So I intend to go out with my little iPad and make a video and hopefully do something like this so that people can then join me wherever I am and we can tune in to these plants.
Yeah. I mean, the World Healing Day, you know, the World Healing Day and stuff like that. It's so nice to get together and just listen, you know, because in a way we are listening to Mother Earth as well as the tree.
I mean, it's two ways, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
But we can also now having learned how to do these technology things like that, we can then connect from across around the world. We can connect with each other. We can create that sacred space and opening it up, and we can all then feel that.
Oh,
would you like to hear Jasmine?
Yes, please. There's a lot of people who's asking what the gadget is called.
Okay, it's called music of the plants.
Music of the plants. So now we're going on to Jasmine, which is the third plant.
Now Jasmine, she used to have lots of flowers and things on her, but she's gone past that now. But she's still a happy girl. And Jasmine, again, very, very high vibrational plant. So I've just plugged her in. So this is the time then now that it takes to get from these leaves. And of course, Jasmine's... I need to talk, don't I, and say that you're a lovely plant. And you're teaching us and healing us. Maybe you'd like a crystal. What kind of crystal do you think Jasmine would like?
Do you know what? Even though you said high vibrational, I'm feeling womb. I'm feeling moonstone.
Is that moonstone? That's moonstone, isn't it? Or is that selenite?
Let's try selenite.
Right, there we go. See, there's the sphere in there. I don't want to drop it. Hang on, just trying. There we go. Look. Just trying to think of moonstone.
Yeah, I think because I was getting church vibes, and so for me, I was thinking of weddings.
Yeah.
But then when you got selenite, it's not. It's the angels. It's the choir. It's the voices. So I think selenite.
Seraphim. I'm thinking those kind of words, seraphim, and I don't know what seraphim is, but it's high, isn't it?
Yeah, there's seraphonite as a crystal.
Oh, okay. I haven't got that, but yes. Trying to think what. But again, it's different energy again, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh yeah. There's a difference between all of them.
Yes. So if I maybe try and pop, if I put the rose quartz back in again, see what she's like with rose quartz. I feel that. It's like it's digesting. The rose quartz is just sitting there. Look. It's like it's breathing it in. It's like it's breathing and taking it down. It's more of a thoughtful plant. It's listening.
Yeah.
I haven't stopped it now. It's just not doing stuff, so it's having a rest.
So as soon as you suggested rose quartz,
Yeah.
Suzanne Morrison put up rose quartz.
Yeah.
We've had amethyst mention,
Oh,
opal
right.
mentioned by Hilary Stanley. It'll be interesting to have a little play around.
Yeah, I got this was one of it. It's got like it's amazes something. It's got as what's that?
Amazes. So yeah,
Yeah.
that's a cross between amethyst and azeshite.
Should we try that?
Yeah, yeah. Azeshite is a higher vibrational quartz, so yeah, amazes.
Amazes, yeah. So I get all these lovely things for you, and I know that they're for you. So there's the amazes, look in there.
Yes, Maggie, I get the church organ with Jasmine.
He's thinking about it. Let's put it there. And I think, and then when you touch the plants and you give it care, and we all like a little bit of massage, don't we? So look at that.
We do. And Suzanne just put the plant wants a cuddle.
Yeah, well there we go.
Yeah, it
Jasmine's
just needs a
enjoying
little.
it. Yeah. It's definitely more of a thinker, this plant. You know, there's a message there, isn't it? It's about the gaps in between, isn't it? And the thinking time. It doesn't have to be all the time.
Yeah. That is amazing. Bear, can you just find the comment from Anne Paulette suggesting the oils? Oh, this is the question from Anne Paulette, who's another aromatherapist.
Oh, okay. No, I've not heard of Capis attars. I'll have a little look. Yeah, no, I'm not heard.
Thank you for the suggestion, Anne.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, it's amazing.
Yeah. It is amazing. And so for me, what is so important, what's really driving me now is it's about how plants heal us. And I believe that plants have the answer to everything that we need. If only we would look after the environment, honor the environment, and connect with the environment and listen, then actually nature would be able to help us heal.
Absolutely.
So that's the whole thrust of what I do now is trying to work with how flowers heal us. So it may be through their oil, harvesting their goodies and things. It may be listening to their sounds. Whenever I do grids and things with flowers, I always keep the flowers and dry them afterwards, and then I use them in incense, or I use them as bath thingies or whatever. Everything's always used, and then we get the magic from nature in many different ways, and it just fills me with just total inspiration. I just find it amazing. And I've not really played around with the crystals. I always use moss agate in my pots, and clear quartz, and a bit of citrine and a bit of rose quartz, you know, kind of basics, but actually then seeing what you're drawn to, of what the plant then needs, and the fact then that you can then work with your plants. So the plants that you have, these are little pot plants, these plants that you have. So when you think then of the spirits in the plants that you are working with and you are honoring with, you know, what a special thing you are doing, and then you will get their energy back, you know, in amazing ways. It's awesome.
Oh, I mean, I know you mentioned this the other week when we caught up and had a little discussion about what we were doing. And I just thought when you said the frequencies, I just thought it'd be like the tuning forks, where it'd just be like, da,
Yeah.
zzz. I mean, you gave us a little snippet before we went on live, and I was blown. It was just whoa.
Yeah. Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, if we went out into the woods, and these, like you say, these are potted plants, but if we went to their natural habitats, I'd be buzzing and connected to those trees and
So I use it out in my garden. So when I'm creating my essences, I go out in the garden, and this is the music that I then play. I haven't got loads of plants. I've got loads of plants a bit overgrown, but I nearly always will have some of roses. But I will then plug in to one of the plants, and then let that energy be inspirational in what I'm working. Then that energy will then go into what you're making, and it just seems to make perfect sense. And then again, of course, if you're doing workshops and things like that, then you can bring the plants to that, and then whatever you do within that workshop, anything that you make or create, you're connecting with that energy. You've then got that to take away then back to your place, your home place, and you can then move it for things.
So crafted, so personalized, individual. Just, that whole, everything is from something that you've done or created, and that's the magic behind this. It's absolutely
So you can bring your own plants. So I go to a sound circle with my lovely friend Linda, who organises that in South Wraxall in Wiltshire, and we bring instruments to make sound. Well, people bring drums and things like that. I take my music of the plants little gizmo with me, and then people bring their own plants. It has to be plants with roots on it. It doesn't work with cut flowers. So people will then bring their plants, and then we go around, and their own plants can play their song, and so you can hear the song of your own plants.
It's amazing. Yeah. Christina, she's saying that she thinks her snake is listening to plant music.
Yeah.
I know I've got one chilled out cat sitting on the chair at the moment. She's soaking in these vibes.
Yes. Well, interesting. My dogs haven't come up. I think they've probably they know this. They'll be asleep downstairs.
Yeah. And Suzanne's asked, do we need anything else? It's just that gizmo. It's just that gadget. Everything comes with that gadget, and you just put one in the root, not in the actual root, but in the soil.
In the pot, yes.
In the pot, and then attach it to. I'm so going to be.
Yeah, it was my dream to get one. I mean, it is expensive, but for me, I just love it, and I think it's a part of my work. And what I love about it is that it sings for itself. It's quite happy. It sings for itself, so it does its own healing. It doesn't need. It needs me to switch it on, but then it's quite happy.
And do you think it could be a way of it saying thank you? Because obviously plants take in carbon dioxide, and that's what we breathe out. So by talking to the plant, we're feeding it the carbon dioxide. So it's like, oh, the more of that you're giving me, the more I'm going to react to that. And this is what we're hearing when you're talking to it, is that, yes, give me more, talk to me more.
Yes. So imagine if you wrote poetry or something to the plants, and then also playing music. That's not something we've got time to do today, but that's another thing which is lovely to do, is to play music to it.
It is amazing. We've got to meet up, sweetheart. We've got to we've got to play with this. I mean, we have said throughout this lockdown, and all the guests or some of the live feeds I've done, there is a group of us who You know, we're going to go to the Devon Birds of Prey Centre. We're going to go on Dartmoor and drum in the stone circles. We're going to go off here and there.
So
We
come
are
up to
going.
Avery and we could do all this there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or wherever, but yeah, Avery would be the best place.
Absolutely. We go where your heart's drawn.
Or wherever, yeah. Or a garden or somewhere, but yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Because you said about people bringing plants to your music thing, and you said it's potted plants, it's got to have a root, not cut plants. What would that sound like?
I don't think it would work. I mean, I can try it. Hang on a second. But there's not
Because
a root,
it's a bit.
You see, you can't put the root. So this is a beautiful roses from my garden. But you see, there's not, you can't plug it. So, I mean, I can try. But let's see. But it's because it's. So you see, this has to go on a sensor. There's nothing to.
Oh.
It has to go into the soil because it's takes it in, because the stem is just going to be taking the messages down. So even if I hold it by it, let's have a look. I'll hold it and let's try the. Excuse me, Jasmine, a second. Because it's not a complete plant. So I think it just says, bad connection. Okay. So that's told us, hasn't it, really?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
There we go.
Yeah.
Jasmine's back.
Yeah, because Cactus says, what do unhappy plants sound like?
I'll be totally honest with you, I don't really know, because I try everything possible now not to have unhappy plants. So because I play my music and they're with all the crystals, so I don't really know. But I think sick plants, I'm sure the sound would be different. And I mean, maybe it would be something if I can find a plant to rescue, or I mean, sometimes they do die and go funny. But yeah, it would be interesting to see. I'm sure the energy would change. Yeah, it would be something that would be interesting to look at. So yeah, I'll maybe try and find, you can find the sad plant department in the garden centres, can't you? So
yeah, the hospital centre, yeah, the hospital ward. And
so maybe I can take one on and try and see what happens. And you see, I'm sure that just by putting crystals in, looking at it, looking after it, playing it music, talking to it, that would make a difference. Well, in fact, I know it would make a difference, actually. So I didn't, but it would be nice to prove it, I guess, wouldn't it?
absolute. Right. Before we let this lovely lady go back into a mushroom and enjoy the rest of her evening in a snowstorm, in a fairy cave, do we have any questions for this lovely lady? You've been asking them, and if I've been seeing them, I have been chucking them on. But if I've missed any questions, or you have anything to ask this lady, please do put your questions up. Absolutely unbelievable. I've loved this.
Oh, thank
Where
you.
were the nerves, sweetheart? Where was all the?
I was really nervous.
Where? It did not show.
I think the thing is, though, is that when you're doing what you love, then it just speaks for itself, doesn't it? And I think that is the lesson that I have learned, is stick with what gives me joy, and then actually it speaks for itself, doesn't it? It sings for itself, doesn't it?
Absolutely. Oh, if there has been anyone, Esther's still here. Esther's, how are your yantras going?
Oh, well, I use I put them in a safe place because I've got water and things. But yeah, I mean, I love to, and like I said earlier, I love to put flowers on the yantras. And I've got a few pictures and things. I also love the thing that I loved of what Esther did. She made me a little one because I like to go and escape down to the sea. So it's really nice to have my little mini yantra that I can take with me. And so I take that, and it's the flower of. I've got the seed of life and the flower of life because they so tie in with the flowers and things.
So
Of course,
you,
and
sweetheart.
so I've got my big one that I use at home and I take to my meditation groups when I'm local. But a little one is lovely. And then, of course, what is fantastic is to take it to the beach, and then with your yantras, you then put your seaweedy bits, and then it's just amazing.
Oh,
Yeah, so
that's
I'm
the sound
very
we
keen.
hear quite a lot from Esther. Oh, yes. Oh, when we're in our passion, we like to. Oh.
Yes, yes, yes. So yeah.
Oh, anything. Suzanne, lovely show, and asthma, the best it's been.
Oh, brilliant.
Beautiful,
Wow.
beautiful. And if anyone has just joined us and has missed it, we are up on YouTube, Dan Rock's Rock Box. Please, if you need to catch up, you find us there. Please give us a like. Please give us a subscribe. And there's also a lot of other videos there from other special guests too. I was actually looking through today, and it's quite interesting at the start how my hair was to what it is now. And I'm like,
Look at that.
oh, no. Oh, Shelley Allen, what is the yantra? What does it look like? Are yours in a safe place?
Hang on, they're in this.
Because I can get mine out if you want.
You always say that, Dan. Now just stop now. Right. I'll also do a bit of a, yeah.
Oh, check us out. Welcome to the club.
Yeah, we love Esther's yantras. And of course, because what I love about those, see, I have got some others. I've got Patrick's grid boards and things, but which are lovely, and I use those too. But what I love about this, of course, is the wood. So, so, so this, I mean, it's just gorgeous, isn't it? Look, yours is like mine because I also then wanted this was the
Is
first
it?
one. Mine's more florally. I can't get the so I really wanted to have the lotus flower. Gives me that's really symbolic as well, and so that was my first one. Beautiful grain. It haven't got very good light in here, but
Beautiful. What's your wood?
I can't remember. Maybe
Mine's ash.
I did have some ash. I think this might be ash. I can't remember ash. I know it was. I can't remember. I can't remember.
So with these boards, Shelley, if you find Moon Kestrel's Nest, who is Esther Richardson, who is commenting on here, they're gridding boards. So it's where you put things onto the board to grid with, to give an intention to send out healing. So yeah, so I use quite a few crystals with mine. Ro, she does a mixture of flowers and crystals. People use, like you said, at the beach, shells, stones, seaweed. People can use feathers. But yeah, if you go and find, Esther says ash and silver birch.
Yes, I thought it was silver. This was the first. Yeah, it was really important. I'm sorry, Esther, that I've forgotten. Sorry. Well,
It's a good.
I think I just haven't got that kind of knowledge in my head today.
We've not fondled as much wood as Esther.
I don't think anybody could actually.
No, I don't think anyone could fondle as much wood as Esther.
Absolutely.
Esther is the wand. It's the wand fondler. Wood fondler.
Definitely.
Beautiful. Yeah.
But again, because it takes you back, it does take you back to the tree and all, and everything just ties in so beautifully. So yeah, I mean, I do use grid cloths and things like that, but ideally, yes, I'd have yantras for everybody. But I probably would need huge car to trek them around. But
Yeah,
working with natural things is just lovely. Lovely.
absolutely. No, they are beautiful, and it's nice to use those. Yeah.
Yes, I mean, I'll quite often put like a rose in the middle, and then the energy from that rose will go out, and then I might put some crystals around, and then when it's finished with the grid and the intention's finished, then I'll save those petals, and then we'll use them to something else.
Yeah. So yeah, Shelley, if you jump onto Ro's page, where there's pictures of your grids on your page, isn't there?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So if you want to know how she uses them for flowers, jump onto her page, and
I think Shelley might be in that picture actually of the workshop.
oh,
Might be. I think she might be in there. But anyway, yes.
So what she did on that paper, because she has said she didn't know they came on wood.
Yeah.
So she's worked on the paper versions.
Yes.
But what you've done on that paper, you can do on wood. I think we need to. We're getting near the witching hour.
Yeah, we are. So that's always a bit of a.
The naughty boys and girls are going to be coming out soon, and
they might. Yes.
Yes. So yeah. So if that is everything, and for anyone who is watching, I am looking for July date. So if anybody can recommend anyone who wants to come on as a guest, please drop me a message. If anyone on here wants to come on as a guest, please drop me a message. Or if you want somebody to return, anybody who we've had on, if you want people to return, I think you could come back on again and we could do some more magic. Because I'm sure there's things that we've not touched on that you do. But no, from me, and I think everybody who has been on here, thank you so much. You've nearly enough matched Patrick Gamble's time of being on here.
Well, he's been such a teacher to me, so I consider it a real honour.
Hey, if people are interested, if people are engaging, I'm happy to stay here. And everything you have done tonight has been amazing. I've certainly loved it. I've thoroughly enjoyed this evening.
Could I just say a big thank you to you both, to you and Adam, because this has been a lifeline for me, catching up with you. It's a real honour to do it, so I can't believe I'm doing it. But I think what you guys have done to keep the morale and to keep us all laughing, I feel really so thankful. So thank you for doing that. It's been and thank you for having me on. It's been good fun.
Thank you, Ro. Thank you. And it's what it's all about. It's what we did, because this time of year is when we will be meeting each other at so many events, so many fairs, and it's not happened. And so for me, I wanted to connect to these people that we're missing, our spiritual family. And what better to do that than let's do it live, let's do it in front of people. And it's really nice because there's people out there who would like to know Ro, but Ro is busy on the stall doing this, and this, and we've not got a chance to ask those questions. So it's nice to get somebody on like yourself and get people to ask you questions and to get people to see who you are behind everything that you do. So thank you for seeing that. Thank you for seeing that. Thank you for coming on. You haven't been nervous at all. I've loved it. But I'll drop you down.
Yeah.
And I'll just wind up the rest of the evening. But we'll catch up soon.
Thank you. Yeah.
Big love to you all.
Lots of love. Thank you for being a marvellous host.
Thank you for being a marvellous guest.
Thank you.
Thank you, gorgeous.
Bye.
Bye. Bye. Okay, thank you so much. And yeah, we've just put up the link. So if anybody wants to jump onto YouTube to catch up anything, please do so and give us a like. Please subscribe, so you don't miss any others. We do have special guests on every Wednesday and every Saturday evening. This Saturday coming up, we've got the lovely Violet Flame Queen of Dragons. Hilary Stanley is going to be coming on, and we are going to be aiming that more at her past life work and the stuff that she does, connecting people with their past lives. And then we will have some more topics coming on. But like I said, if there's anybody who we've not had on and you'd like us to get in touch to see if they'll come on board, please do so. And we'll try our best. Or anybody you would like to see again come on, because majority of these people have got many attributes to their amazing selves. So we can always have the same people on talking about different things. Okay, and on Friday night we do have our market preview event listed, and on Friday at 5 we go live with our crystal market, and it's an education as well. We go around a virtual world showing you the different places where the crystals are sourced and found. So Wendy, I will be in touch with her. Suzanne. Thank you. And then tomorrow night, I'll be coming on live at 6. And I'll be going through what you would expect on my all about the base chakra workshop, because it won't be long until things are lifting and we're being able to do things. So on a Thursday night, I'm going to be talking through the workshops that I run personally. But please do check out Ro. Do check out her Facebook page, business page, and get in touch. What an amazing night. I've loved it. I'm ready to relax now and absorb that beautiful healing from the plants. So hope you've all had a brilliant night. Thank you for supporting us. Thank you for supporting Ro, and welcoming her to Dan ROX Box. So from me, I'll leave you all there. So good night. Enjoy the rest of your evening. And if you want to join me tomorrow night at 6, everyone is welcome. Okay. Have a good day. Have a good week, and catch you soon. Bye-bye.